Hi all. In our previous session, we discussed basic introduction on magnetism. As we discussed the source of dipole moments in magnetic materials. Also, we discussed different types of magnetic materials. In this session, we will learn atomic theory of magnetism, which explains the source of electric current in atoms. It also explains the orbital and spin magnetic moments and how it relates, or the relation between the magnetic moment and angular momentum vector. The magnetic effects in magnetic materials are due to the presence of magnetic dipole moments inside the atoms. Main source of these magnetic dipoles are due to the presence of electric current loops inside the atom, and these current loops are generated because of the orbital motion of the electron, or due to the spin motion of the electron, or due to the spin motion of the nucleus. So if you want to consider the presence or the origin of magnetic dipole moments, we have to consider all these sources. That we need to consider the orbital motion of the electron, or we need to consider the spin motion of the electron and spin motion of the nucleus. In atomic theory of magnetism, or in this theory, it explains how these dipole moments are produced or induced due to this orbital and spin motion of the electrons. So, as you all know, the existence of these magnetic dipole moments are due to the formation of current loops inside the system. So if you are able to find out the expression for the current, it is very easy to find out what is the magnetic moment, because we know the relation mu equal to I into A, where I is the current and A is the area. So our first objective is to find out what is the current which is generated inside the atomic system. For that, we can consider an hydrogen atom, so that an electron is revolving around the nucleus. So these are all classical concepts, which means the electrons are revolving, or like that. It is not actually happening there. So suppose we have an electron and it is revolving around the proton. So at any instant, let electron is at a position P, which is at a distance from positively charged nucleus. So that you can expect an electric dipole there, because the two opposite charges are separated by a distance. So you can expect an electric dipole moment there. So do you believe that because of this electric dipole, an electrostatic field is experiencing near this dipole moment? You have to say yes or no now. So the answer is no. Because of this electric dipole, you are not experiencing any electrostatic field near this. This is because the direction of the dipole moment goes on varying as electron moves further. As a result, the average contribution of this electric dipole moment is 0. As the electron moves, the direction also changes, so the vector sum is 0. As a result, the electric dipole moment average contribution is 0. But when you consider that, when an electron is revolving around the nucleus, a charged particle is revolving there, so you can expect current. So the current loops generated inside the atomic systems are mainly due to the motion of these electrons. As these electrons are carrying charges, their motion will lead to current loops, or will generate current loops. So if you want to find out what is the current, it is very simple. We have to find out how many revolutions does an electron is making in unit time. When you multiply that one with the charge, you will get the current. So rate of flow of charges. So for that, consider an electron of mass m moving with a velocity v. Can you say what is the number of revolution it will be executed in unit time? It is given by velocity divided by circumference. It will give you the number of revolutions per second. So what is V? If omega is the angular frequency of the electron and R is the distance, then V equal to R omega. So it is R omega by 2 pi R. So here R cancelled and the answer is it will make omega by 2 pi revolutions per second, and it is nothing but the reciprocal of the time period. So this is the revolution that an electron of mass m with velocity is executing per unit time. So from this you can calculate the current. The current is given by I equal to, as I said earlier, it is nothing but the charge into revolutions per second. So E into omega by 2 pi. So this much of charge is developed inside the atomic system. So this circular path is now equivalent to a magnetic dipole, and it will show some magnetic dipole moment. So next we are writing what is this magnetic dipole moment due to the orbital motion of the electron, and it is given by mu equal to I into A. Mu equal to I into A, where I is the current and A is the area. Area, it is obvious, it is nothing but pi r square, and we have the expression for the current, so it is E omega by 2 pi into pi r square, and it is given by E omega r square by 2. E omega r square by 2, and this is the magnetic dipole moment which is generated because of these tiny current loops. So we got mu, moment, magnetic moment. From this relation, we can extract the relation between magnetic moment and angular momentum. As we all know, the expression for angular momentum, L, which is nothing but what? I omega, where I is the moment of inertia. So the general expression is m r square omega. So L equal to m r square omega. This is the angular momentum, orbital angular momentum of the orbital angular momentum generated due to the orbital motion of the electron. So if we substitute in this L here, we will get r square is there, omega is there, but no m. So if you say it is E by 2m into L, the equation is correct. So we got the relation mu equal to E by 2mL, where L equal to mr square omega, where cancel, and it will lead to E omega r square by 2. So this is the relation between mu and L. Magnetic moment equal to E by 2m times the angular momentum, and in vector we have to say minus there, which means or it indicates an important point. The magnetic moment is always directed opposite to the orbital angular momentum. So their directions are just opposite. The magnetic moment direction is just opposite to the orbital angular moment. As you all know, if an electron revolves in a clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction, just curl your finger in this fashion, and the direction of your thumb will give you the direction of angular momentum. So if the electrons are revolving in this fashion, the angular momentum direction is pointing upwards. At that time, the magnetic moment will pointing downwards. So this is the relation between, or the direction relation between the magnetic moment and angular momentum, and as a result we are putting a negative sign there. So mu equal to minus E by 2m into L. So this expression, in this way we concluded that due to this orbital angular momentum, we need to expect a magnetic moment mu. And this relation is applied only to the orbital motion of the electron. As we discussed earlier, we have to consider many facts. The magnetic moments are generated not only due to this orbital motion of the electron, but also due to many other things like the spin motion of the electron and spin motion of the nucleus. In this session, we are considering additional factors, spin motion of the electron also. Okay, so for the orbital motion of the electron, the magnetic moment mu equal to minus. Minus stands for its direction, E by 2m times the orbital angular momentum. So classically we can conclude one thing. So more importantly, I am saying classically because if an atom possesses a permanent, or we can say an atom possesses permanent magnetic dipole moment if it has electrons which has non-vanishing orbital angular momentum. If an electron has non-vanishing orbital angular momentum, you can expect a permanent magnetic dipole moment. This explanation is only based on classical thoughts. Okay, we will discuss. Even though if the electron has some, if the electron's orbital angular momentum is zero, at that time also we have to expect them. We have to expect some magnetic moments that we will discuss or we will explain quantum mechanically. That we will see later. So at this point, we are saying that if an atom possesses some non-vanishing orbital angular momentum, it has some magnetic moment. So the ratio of this magnetic moment due to the orbital motion of the electron to the orbital angular momentum. So the ratio of magnetic moment to the orbital angular momentum, and this one is called gyromagnetic ratio, gamma. Can you say what is gamma? It is nothing but, you can get gyromagnetic ratio from this expression. It is nothing but E by 2m. So E by 2m is sometimes called gyromagnetic ratio. So at this point we learned the relation between magnetic moment and the orbital motion of the electron. If you want to find out or if you want to study the relation between this magnetic moment and spin of the electron, you have to learn some quantum numbers. You all know in modern atomic theory, the orbital angular momentum is explained in terms of orbital quantum number L, and it is given by angular momentum L equal to h bar root of L into L plus 1. You all know these things in your previous classes. So in this way you will get the angular momentum from the orbital quantum number L. And you know this orbital quantum number L can take values 0, 1, etc. to n minus 1 values, where n is the principal quantum number. It will vary accordingly for K, L, M and shells. This you all know. So angular momentum can be represented in terms of orbital quantum number L. So what we need to discuss here is, suppose an electron is revolving, it has, suppose it is in p subshell or like that, it has some orbital quantum number small l. At that time, if you apply a magnetic field, what happens to the direction of this angular momentum? That's my question. So suppose this is the angular momentum direction. If you apply an electric field in this direction, so black one is the electric field. So if you apply an electric field in this direction also, what happens is that the angular momentum will tilt with respect to the magnetic field and it will precess about the magnetic field direction. This is what is happening. So when you apply an external magnetic field, the angular momentum vector will precess about the magnetic field direction. If the angular momentum precesses, what happens to the magnetic moment? It will also precess about the magnetic field direction in the opposite manner. But these orientation have some specific values which is determined quantum mechanically. It can take any orientation as it says, but it has some limitation, or it is determined by certain quantum numbers, and they are called the magnetic quantum number M, which determines. So this magnetic quantum number determines the orientation of the angular momentum in the external magnetic field direction. Okay, I am drawing a figure. Suppose this is the field direction and the angular momentum will take this orientation, making an angle alpha with the magnetic field direction. So this is the angular momentum vector L. It precesses about the magnetic field direction, and you can see The projection of this angular momentum in the field direction is LB. This one. This is the projection of magnetic field. This is the projection of angular momentum vector L in the magnetic field direction. These projections will determine actually the orientation of this L. It can't take any value. This projection can't take any value. This projection can take only the integral multiples of H cut. These projections are represented by this LB can take only where M is an integer. It can take integral multiples of H cut, and these M are called magnetic quantum number. So this L can take some specific values so that its projection must have integral multiple. Such orientations are possible. Other orientations are not possible. In this way, the magnetic moment vector or magnetic quantum number determines the orientation of angular momentum vector around the field direction based on this projection, and the projection is given by m h bar, where m is the magnetic quantum number. It can take values, as you all know, it can take values minus L to plus L. Minus L to plus L, which means the angular momentum can have 2L plus 1 values. The angular momentum vector can have 2L plus 1 values, and those values are permissible, or those values determine the orientation of angular momentum around the field direction. For example, consider an electron in p subshell. For that, L value is 1, isn't it? L value is 1 for an electron in p subshell. It can have, what are the possible M values? Minus L2 plus L, which means it has minus 1, 0, plus 1. Let us draw what are the possible orientation of the vector L for this electron. So this is 0, this is minus 1, and this is plus 1. These projections are possible. So the magnetic vector or the angular momentum vector must have these orientation, which will give this projection. It is permissible. The 0 projection is permissible, and also this projection is permissible, which is minus 1. So the vector L can have these type of orientation for an electron in a p subshell, and it is completely determined by the magnetic quantum number. So in this way, the angular momentum will preserve about the magnetic field direction. So till now we considered the orbital motion of the electron, but quantum mechanically we determined, even though the orbital angular momentum of the electron is 0, the electron possesses some intrinsic angular momentum, which is called spin angular momentum. So I am giving you a task. You have to find out, or you have to learn what is the physical concept of this orbital angular momentum 0. Does it mean the electron is not revolving? Or do you think that the electron is always revolving around the nucleus? So what is the physical meaning of this orbital angular momentum 0? You have to find out that. Just learn physics in this conceptual manner, then it will be more interesting. Okay. So quantum mechanically we determine this angular momentum, and that angular momentum is called spin angular momentum. It has no connection with it, is spinning in this fashion. It has some intrinsic angular momentum, and which is called spin angular momentum. So electron also possesses spin angular momentum, or that's why it also contributes to the magnetic moment. The spin angular momentum, or if you apply a magnetic field B, the spin angular momentum is oriented in such a way that its projection along the field direction can take only two values. It is plus half ms can take. It is represented by ms, and this is represented by ml. ml for orbital angular momentum, and this is for spin magnetic quantum number. So the spin angular momentum will orient in such a manner that its projection can take only two values, ms equal to plus half or ms equal to minus half. These are the two values. So these are the two values which is permissible in spin quantum number, and the plus half is for clockwise spinning and minus half for the anti-clockwise spinning. So this is related with, or this magnetic moment is related with the spin angular momentum of the electron.